Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and welcome to a very special episode of our Hot Lap battle featuring two very extreme track weapons from two renowned manufacturers, the Aston Martin Vulcan and the recently obtainable Ferrari 599XX. So looking at the stats given from Forza Horizon 3, both these supercars are classed at S2, with the Vulcan having a 12-point advantage over the 599XX at 959, and looking at the stats individually, both cars' braking is rated equally at 10, however when it comes to pure speed, the 599XX has the Vulcan's number, but the Vulcan does possess better handling. And looking at the real performance figures of these two cars, both cars have the same front engine rear wheel drive layout, both cars have naturally aspirated V12s under the bonnet, however the Vulcan's engine does hold nearly 1000 cubic capacity more than the Ferrari's engine, and also produces over 100 brake horsepower more, totaling an output of 820 brake horsepower in comparison to the Ferrari's 691. And also the Vulcan does weigh nearly 300 pounds less, which means around the track the Vulcan could very well be the favourite in this battle. So now it's time to put these two cars around our test track for an initial impressions lap and then a side-by-side comparison of the hot lap to see which supercar is faster. First up, the Ferrari 599XX. Okay, so right now I'm in the Ferrari 599XX, and right off the line, of course, there's going to be a bit of wheel spin thanks to the rear wheel drive layout that the 599 possesses, but then the acceleration from then on is absolutely brutal, and as we approach the second corner, I feel that the steering is just so responsive. It feels so good to turn around corners, and going through the straight, this is where the 599 is almost reaching its top speed thanks to the very short gear ratios. But this is where I feel that the 599 is not as impressive as I thought it might have been. I feel that the braking needs to be a little bit earlier to allow the weight of the car to transfer. I felt that as a track car I would have been able to brake a little bit later, but unfortunately for the 599XX, not as much as I thought. But nonetheless, in terms of steering response, the car feels absolutely great. It's just the braking needs to be done a little bit earlier as I anticipated. Hopefully this wouldn't be too much of a problem in comparison to the Aston Martin Vulcan, which I will now be showing you guys in the next impressions lap. Okay, so right now I'm in the Aston Martin Vulcan, and of course right off the line, very similar to the 599XX thanks to the rear wheel drive layout, and acceleration feels just as brutal as the 599XX, but when I approach the second corner I can immediately feel that the steering response on the Aston Martin Vulcan is just on a completely different level to the 599XX. It just feels more sharper, more responsive, and the braking just feels absolutely superb. I mean, it feels like the car is so light that I'm able to brake quite late in the apex on the corner, and it just gives me a lot of confidence driving the Aston Martin Vulcan. Now, with that being said, the throttle response, you have to be very careful while exiting corners, because if you put your foot down just a little bit too much, you're going to be wheel spinning. So the throttle must be quite precise, and you must be very delicate with how much pressure you apply to the accelerator of the Aston Martin Vulcan. Anyways, it's now time to put these two cars in a side-by-side comparison to see which one is the fastest around our test track. Now, of course, the Aston Martin Vulcan has already been around our test track in a previous episode against the Radical RXC Turbo and is currently ranked in position 8th in our current leaderboards. But the Ferrari 599XX clocked a lap time 1 whole second slower than the Aston Martin Vulcan at 54.2 seconds, giving itself a ranked position of number 13. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this very special episode of our Hot Lap Battle featuring what is essentially a unicorn car in Forza Horizon 3, the Ferrari 599XX. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more Forza Horizon 3 content done by me, make sure to click the subscribe button as well. That would really help me out, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.